From the murky waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Bayou Wild TV. I'm Don Dubois, along with Martha Spencer. Got an exciting program for you today. We're going to take you behind the scenes on how fishing lures are made.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique field. There's a lot of competition in it, but how does one become a professional bait maker? You're going to be introduced to Zach Dubois of Cajun Lures.
I want to make colors and stuff that do work for fish. So in other words, all the factors that can go into a bait, from color, profile, action, scent, and they could go and use it and catch a fish, then I've done my job, because the idea is it worked for them, so they're going to come back and buy more. The reality is there's a reason for those colors, so I always try to go back to just research and science and things I've read about of this color works good here and this color works good over there.
And we're actually going to make our own and put them to the test. Ta-da! It's beautiful! The Mardi Gras Mad Martha. Because it's kind of Mardi Gras themed.
And there it is, the new Dandy Donnie, ready to whip up on the Mad Martha. Stay tuned.
All right, persistence. Woo! And I don't think I gloated too bad, because I know there's been several times where I've been the one that's not catching, so I tried to reel in my excitement a little bit, but it was nice. It was nice having the better bait that day.
But believe me, you haven't heard the last of the Dandy Donnie. And if you've been lucky enough to catch some red snapper, and everybody had a pretty good season on snapper, we've got a taste-tempting recipe from Chef John Folse, BLT snapper, all coming up from Morton's Seafood Restaurant and Bar on the banks of the Tchefuncte River, where you're watching Bayou Wild TV.
Go ahead and grab this beautiful piece of fish. Look at that one right there. And put that right on top, like that.
And now, one of the second best parts to the fish. This beautiful.
That beautiful bacon, but hold on, let me put, what we're going to do that. Put one tomato on top.
Double-decker.
Oh yeah, you got double decker. Now put a good crisscross on that.
Closed captioning made possible by Cito.com. Become a member.
Add the taste of Louisiana to your next meal. If you like creamy, bold, tangy, or spicy, bring home the taste of Louisiana with sauces from Louisiana Fish Fry products.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouses.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouses. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouses makes.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
If you build it, they will bite. That belief remains true for Zach Dubois and his self-made fishing bait company, Cajun Lures.
¿Cómo ça va, yo?
Zach Dubois with Cajun Lure.
I was on the UL bass team, fishing team when I was in college. And I was in the industrial design program at UL, which was designing products, learning the concept to manufacturing them. So as I kind of progressed into the fishing world of bass and kind of learned more about tournaments, I always thought I'd like to learn how to make my own baits so I could kind of give myself a competitive edge, you know, fishing in the college. So once I got good at doing like a 3D model on the computer and the CAD software, you know, I made me a few little crawfish baits out of that little mold, and then I went fishing the next morning and I caught a fish on them. You know, I caught a bass, so I was like, I made something that works. Like, this is cool.
It didn't take long for what began as a hobby to turn into a career.
But the part I really had to learn was business, you know, time management, sales. I had to kind of teach myself to be more organized. The business side to it's a lot harder than people think.
Working from home, Zach works tirelessly on research and development, and from the T-Minna to the Cajun croaker, their names leave no question of their Cajun origin when being shipped worldwide.
Bayou, you know, you catch a fish, you hook it, you be like, Bayou.
That was freaking crazy. This thing's gonna waltz, two-step, and jitterbug in the water, and it's gonna make them bass go crazy.
I want to make colors and stuff that do work for fish. So in other words, all the factors that can go into a bait, from color, profile, action, scent, and they could go and use it and catch a fish, then I've done my job, because the idea is it worked for them, so they're gonna come back and buy more. The reality is there's a reason for those colors, so I always try to go back to just research and science and things I've read about of this color works good here and this color works good over there.
From color blends, shapes, and glitter schemes, there's no limit to the design possibilities of a custom lure.
It's just interesting to see that everybody's different takes from, you know, fishing, let's say, the east side of the state versus the west side, the colors they choose, the styles people fish. You know, I can always kind of tell. It's definitely interesting to see, you know, each anglers through the state and everywhere, the colors that they choose based on how they fish.
That's a foul.
What better way to create a Bayou Wild fishing challenge than starting in the lab on our own custom baits?
So you want basically a dark colored body crawfish with chartreuse tips, right?
Got it. A little glitter in there too.
Yeah, we got a little fancier with it. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna shoot the chartreuse color into the molds, and then we're gonna cut the tips off. And then we're gonna stick the tips back in the mold, and then we're gonna inject the next color so we have the chartreuse tips.
Ooh, look at that. That is pretty.
I've already seen a black and chartreuse bait. I want to try something a little louder.
Flakes.
Big flakes of this one and small flakes of the other green.
Okay.
I kind of just picked whatever looked cool. I just thought, you know, let's mix this up and make it sparkly, get their attention. I didn't know what conditions it would work better in. Well, purple is the color of royalty, so, you know, it's only got to be the best. I feel like, you know, I think smart like a bass and ambush things, so we're just gonna go with some greens and different size flakes and some purples and just blow their minds.
Not only do I have the gender advantage, I've also got the longevity advantage over Martha's bait, so we'll see how that turns out.
I'm better at this than making sausage. Ta-da! It's beautiful! The Mardi Gras Mad Martha. Because it's kind of Mardi Gras themed. It was the June bug, which I'd never really used, never used a June bug bait, but redfish will eat anything, so I think it's a good bait for that.
From a natural, more looking standpoint, I'd say Martha's. However, knowing how sometimes bass can bite random colors and you never know, I think yours could be the winner too. So we're gonna have to see how they behave.
And there it is, the new Dandy Donnie, ready to whip up on the Mad Martha. Stay tuned.
I like the Dandy Donnie, but I like it for redfish. So I think that's where these would have the upper hand. I'm not convinced the bass will eat this, but if it does, you never know.
Coming up, we take the baits into the marsh and even offshore to put them to the test.
See, we got, look at here, look, Martha.
I'm sorry, I'm busy.
Look what he bit. Look, the Dandy Donnie. Who knew it was a saltwater bait?
Rigged. Rigged.
No. If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D.
Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
If you're a proud Bayou Wild TV viewer, check out the Bayou Wild TV collection shirts. Both regular tee and long sleeve dry fit are a perfect fit for any outdoorsman or woman who lives and plays in Bayou country. And they make perfect gifts. Go to BayouWildTV.com.
From a natural, more looking standpoint, I'd say Martha's. However, knowing how sometimes bass can bite random colors and you never know, I think yours could be the winner too. So we're gonna have to see how they behave.
And there it is, the new Dandy Donnie, ready to whip up on the Mad Martha. Stay tuned.
I like the Dandy Donnie, but I like it for redfish. So I think that's where these would have the upper hand. I'm not convinced the bass will eat this, but if it does, you never know. We went out and we had a pretty difficult day of fishing. It was a day that the shrimp were not even being effective. We were not catching on dead bait, we weren't catching on live bait, but plastic seemed to work better, so I was pretty pleased. And you feel a sense of pride when you make something and it actually works, and it works pretty well the first time.
The Mardi Gras Mad Martha. That's what's up. All right, persistent.
Woo! I was pretty pleased with my bait. I was excited that I actually caught fish on it. It's a little ironic that I thought it would be a better bass bait, but it actually has been working better as a redfish bait. It was nice to see them really hit it hard and consistently, and that it wasn't a fluke. Caught several fish on it, so I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm hoping the Cajun lures might start producing them.
You know, it's very rewarding. Martha felt a real charge to catch a redfish on the Mad Mardi Gras Martha bait. First one ever caught. She caught it on her own bait, and what more can you say? It's a great thrill, and exactly what I said. You get to design the bait in your mind and actually see it made in fruition, and then when you put it in the water and you catch a fish, it just completes the circle.
Don and I, whether you can tell or not, I think have an internal competitiveness with each other, and you can tell, at least if you're on the boat, who gets frustrated when they're not catching more fish. I've seen the frustration in Don before. He doesn't like to get beat.
The redfish, bass, we found out they're here today. The fish are here. We'll see if the bait works.
Well, Don started on live shrimp, and I decided to challenge myself today and fish artificial. Had to have a little faith and do a little research and development with the Mardi Gras Mad Martha, and this is the third beautiful red caught on it. Don just put the Dandy Donnie on, so I might have had a little more time with the lure, but so far, one to go.
Don probably tried to catch fish on that lure for an hour, and then he was concentrating on trying to help Dutch catch fish. Martha fished for Martha the whole time.
And I don't think I gloated too bad, because I know there's been several times where I've been the one that's not catching, so I tried to reel in my excitement a little bit, but it was nice. It was nice having the better bait that day.
But believe me, you haven't heard the last of the Dandy Donnie.
Oh, it came off.
I didn't think an offshore fish would be the first one that would bite it, but I knew they would. Offshore fish can be ferocious, you know, and that black and chartreuse, like I said when I had it made, it's a historic bait.
See, we got, look at here, look, Martha.
I'm sorry, I'm busy.
Look what he bit. Look, the Dandy Donnie. Who knew it was a saltwater bait?
Rigged. Rigged.
No.
No, I believe he actually hooked it, but I also believe those fish that day would have ate just about anything put in front of them.
And I'm glad Martha finally admitted that she realized that I actually caught that fish on that bait.
I think you put a McDonald's chicken nugget on a hook, they probably would have ate it.
You know, there's been a lot of surveys done on why people fish, and of course some people fish for food, but most people fish because it's a challenge. And that challenge is actually more significant when they've got an artificial bait. But when you design and dream up your own bait and you manufacture it and you put it to use and you catch a fish, that's a real reward. I've been using Louisiana fish fry products so much, even the kids are getting into it.
Flannel bag, pour and boil, a great crawfish every time.
And whether you're boiling crawfish, shrimp, or crabs, Louisiana fish fry products use the perfect blend of garlic, onion, spices, and salt for your seafood boils. So look for the bright yellow bag and pour and boil with Louisiana fish fry products.
Hello, my friends. This is Louisiana native Zachary Richard. I cherish the outdoor experiences that make our state so special. And for the first time in over 60 years, whooping cranes are back in Louisiana. Wildlife and fisheries need your help as these beautiful birds resettle in our state. If you spot a whooping crane, observe it from a distance, and if you witness anyone harming one of these very special birds, call the number on the screen.
This message is underwritten by Chevron.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Welcome back. We're here at White Oak Plantation with Chef John Folse. It's summertime. Snapper season is open. So what are we making today?
Well, I tell you what, when you say snapper season is open, what else do we want right now, right? Beautiful fish, the texture is absolutely fantastic, and the good thing about snapper, especially as a restaurateur, is the diversity of that fish. Now, of course, the Gulf is full of fish that we can do all of these different culinary techniques with, especially today where we're doing so much grilling, so many whole fish roasting in our wood-fired ovens. I don't know how many people are doing whole fish roasting, but they should, especially if you have about a nice, to throw it in, nothing better. But I think with snapper, you know, just the bite of the meat, the moistness of it, the flavor of that fish is absolutely incredible. And I could say that about most fish in the Gulf, right?
Yes.
But take a look at this right here. We've just taken a nice fillet. We took the skin off. Now, of course, you can leave the skin on if you want to, and a lot of times I will leave the skin on because I like the flavor of that skin coming through the fish as well. But going on the grill, especially if you're going to be feeding a group, some people just want to make a quick little grab it, dip a little sauce, or as we're doing today, we're going to fire roast it over here on our barbecue pit, okay? So here's the fillet, and of course, I'm doing a BLT today. Okay. Just have you ever done?
I've had a regular BLT. I've never had one with fish on it.
You hadn't had a BLT.
I haven't had a BLTF.
You hadn't had a BLT. So what I'm doing, I'll cut the fish the size of my bun. Now, of course, depending, some folks got those big seeded buns, and that's great too. The first thing I'm going to do is to season. You can actually grab some of that salt. That's the granulated garlic. You can put some of that on, and don't be bashful. You want to get it onto the fish. And I like cracked. You see this coarsely ground pepper here?
Yes.
If you have a pepper mill, which I know everybody has sitting in their cabinet, somebody gave them for Christmas and they hadn't taken it out yet. Take it out on this fish right here. That's right. So do you do any grilling of fish?
Oh, all the time. Absolutely.
I love it. I'm gonna put a little bit.
It's great in the summer because you're outside and you're, hanging out with friends, and it's just a casual environment to be around.
Well, also just fish in general is so great for the grill. It picks up the smoke, it picks up the flavor of the grill, it picks up all of the herb seasonings you put on it, and it cooks in just a few minutes.
And when you cook with the skin on, sometimes it's like a natural tinfoil.
Absolutely, it is. Now, one of the things that I like to do, and even in the restaurants, I'll take an all-purpose vegetable spray, which is really nice, and I'll just put it on the outside of the fish that I'm going to throw on the grill side down.
Stick.
And the grill is already oiled a little bit as well. Now, you see how nice and hot that is? I have it on high. I'm going to put my herbs on it now. I'm going to go ahead and put some basil. And of course, a lot of people are afraid of herbs, not quite knowing what to do with them.
Yeah, and you don't think about them grilling with herbs a lot.
Yeah, no, of course. So you're going to put a little bit basil, thyme, tarragon.
Okay.
Fish, basil, thyme, tarragon. And everybody has that in their garden, right? At least I think everybody has it in their garden. I have a lot of it.
If you don't plant it now, it'll grow quick.
And tarragon loves fish. In fact, God made fish and tarragon on the same day. So this is, so we're going to put a little tarragon on it like that. And then I'll pat that fish, make that fish. Now I want you to take it and you can throw it right onto the grill, side down, this side down. And just kind of lay it on that grill. The grill has already been oiled too.
Right, you want to have a clean grill, I imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because you don't want your fish falling apart on the grill. People ask me all the time.
Picking up stuff from other meals.
Yeah, that's all you, let's leave that piece off. Now what I want you to do is to close that lid. Now the reason I'm closing that lid right now is because I want the natural drippings of that fish hitting that fire to bounce right back on to the fish and start to add that beautiful flavor to it. And we're using red snapper today, but just think of the amount of fish out in the Gulf that you can actually, the redfish on the half shell has been a big favorite for the same reason. It picks up all that beautiful flavor. So you want to take a look? It's only been on for a minute. You have a little fish spat right next to it. Why don't you just take that little spat? I just want to show people how fast. Take that little one right there. No, just flip it on and flip it over. Look at that, guys. You already have your grill marks on it. That fish is about 50% cooked already. Now we can leave the bigger piece right there. Now let's do this. On the bigger piece, I want to season it because that fish piece is so large, and you can do it right on the grill like that. And that's a nice technique because the pepper will start to burn in the fire as well, and you're going to have a really nice flavor. You with me?
Yeah, so when we come back, we're going to take this off the grill, plate it up, make the sandwich, and show you how good it looks.
And you can flip that big one now.
All right.
And close that lid, girl. Get that smoke in there. That fish is crying for that smoke.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouses.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouses. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouses makes.
Some things in life smell delicious. Others, not so much. Like a gas leak. Propane, for instance, is naturally odorless. That's why we add strong odorants to alert you if there is a leak. So if you ever smell gas, turn your system off at the tank and call your propane dealer immediately. Propane is a safe and exceptional fuel, and we want to keep it that way.
We're back. We're about to take our grilled snapper off the grill and plate it up into the sandwich. We're going to move over to the grill now.
Okay, now remember I put a little vegetable spray on one side? I want you to take your little fish spat and pick up that fish right there. We didn't put spray on that side. Now
and
flip
you can
it
see
over.
what happens.
Yeah, you see,
Oh,
you
it fell
lost
apart.
it all right there.
Yeah.
So you ready to go? We put a
Yes.
little, so always spray the fish on each side before you put it on the grill, and spray the grill. So now we have a little remoulade sauce on top of this. So you have the bottom here. You ready to go?
Put some, is this bib lettuce?
That's bib lettuce, but of course use lettuce. You know, if you have a good you know, lettuce in the garden, put it in there. Use your
Beautiful
own.
tomatoes.
I'm going to go ahead and grab this
Okay.
beautiful piece of fish. Look at that one right there. And put that right on top, like that.
And now one of the second best parts to the fish. This beautiful.
That beautiful bacon. But hold on, let me put what we're going to do. That. Put one tomato
Double
on top.
decker.
Oh yeah, you got double decker. Now put a good crisscross on that.
I'm not going to be stingy with the bacon.
Oh, no, you got to put, and that's applewood smoke with a little brown sugar on top
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
Now you just, when you put it on that, just give it a good press right there. Let that fish know you're in command.
I'm
right?
in command. I'm about to be in command of this sandwich.
Just get the cold beer out of the box.
There you
I mean,
go.
what else do you need, right?
A beautiful red snapper BLT, perfect for your summertime grill.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
The iconic whooping crane is back in Louisiana. If you spot a whooping crane, remember, observe and admire it from a distance. And always report any harmful activity. You can always help the Louisiana whooping cranes thrive by donating to lawff.org.
Thank you to Chevron and the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation for their generous support.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Thanks for watching Bayou Wild. Remember, you can get all your Bayou Wild merchandise. You can get hats like seen on Don and shirts like this, t-shirts as well. Check that out at BayouWildTV.com. They make great gifts, and they're great for the hot weather we've been dealing with lately.
And don't forget to check out our social media on Facebook and also on Instagram, BayouWildTV.com.